Hello, everyone. My name is Dr. Michael Wald. I've been nicknamed the Blood Detective because I'm really good at laboratory work. But today's conversation is partially about that, but mostly about a trending article right now in the news, which is entitled Drinking Chlorophyll is a Popular Wellness Trend. Does it really work? So I'm going to talk about that. I'll start by saying that I am a doctor of chiropractic and a board-certified nutritionist, dietitian, and sports nutritionist. I also provide acupuncture, and I'm a life coach, and I have an MD diploma. I went through medical school, but I decided not to go that route, so I do not have an active license in medicine, but I use that knowledge to do presentations like this. So the information that we'll be talking about right now is for your educational purposes, and it is not meant as a substitute for sound medical, health, or nutritional advice. So let's get into it. So let's start with what chlorophyll is. And a couple of claimed benefits. So chlorophyll is a green pigment in plants that aids in photosynthesis, and it contains some nutrients, some minerals, fiber, some vitamins and enzymes, and some other compounds. And here's some of the top popular claims that I've heard. One, that chlorophyll supports detoxification because it binds the toxins. That actually is true. Chlorophyll is like any other fiber, and fiber does have a weak binding ability to some toxins, which helps them become eliminated. But if you have a serious toxic problem, let's say a heavy metal toxic problem, for example, or you want to detox, let's say, abnormal inflammatory mediators or spent estrogens or other hormones, chlorophyll's not going to detox. And then there's the claim that it improves skin health and reduces acne. Well, as part of a balanced plan, a balanced diet, some chlorophyll may be anywhere between 500 and 3,000 milligrams. So somewhere between a half a gram and 3 grams might help clear up acne because if it improves gut health, it removes various inflammatory mediators that once expelled, the skin could help clear up. But most people will not find that that makes a real strong effect upon the skin. And I know this because I've witnessed people doing this and have tried these things on and off for my 33 years in my profession. What about boosting energy and oxygenating the blood? This is an interesting one because chlorophyll's formula, its chemical composition, it looks very similar to the structure of hemoglobin, which obviously is a protein in the human body that binds to oxygen. But chlorophyll does not have any measurable effects there. And if you want to prove it to yourself, for $15 or $25, you can purchase one of those little pulse ox meters on Amazon, put it on your finger, measure your oxygen concentration, and then take some chlorophyll, and you will see it does not change. Could it aid digestion and promote gut health? Again, if it's the only thing you're using, no. There's no amount of chlorophyll that will aid digestion and promote gut health. But as part of a balanced, healthy diet with other plant foods, for example, it can help gut health. What about helping with weight loss and reducing cravings? Once again, it's just not enough. You'd have to take several grams of chlorophyll, which actually may be more dangerous than it is potentially beneficial. And we'll see what I mean by that when we talk about toxins in chlorophyll in just a moment. So no, fiber in and of itself, if you consume enough of it, can reduce cravings because one of the ways is that fiber stretches your intestinal tract, and that sends a message to your brain that you're more full, so you might eat less. So in that sense, but not alone. So the article that's trending now did not mention anything about dosing. So I'm providing some doses here based on the studies that I've read in the scientific journals. And the dose for chlorophyll to have any meaningful effect on a person potentially, minimum, is 1 to 300 milligrams. But probably, as I mentioned, you'll need a couple of grams if you're really trying to force an effect on chlorophyll alone. But if you take chlorophyll, if you consume chlorophyll, let's say as one of hundreds of other plant foods in, let's say, a superfood, then you might actually get some of these effects. So I have chlorophyll as part of my detox superfood powders, which, by the way, I only sell to my clients, so I'm not letting you know this because of selling any products. But when you combine chlorophyll with many other nutritional synergists, then you're getting into an area where you might actually potentiate health in a variety of ways. And there's powder forms of chlorophyll and liquid forms, so you can try either one of those. People often ask me, is liquid chlorophyll more absorbable than powdered? The answer is no. It has to do with the quality of the chlorophyll. So if you take really poor quality chlorophyll and you liquefy it, it's still poor quality chlorophyll. So let's talk about some other potential benefits, and I say potential because they sometimes can happen and mostly really don't. And these are the ones based on some limited scientific evidence, which means scientific studies that give something like chlorophyll in a controlled manner against a placebo group to see how it works out. And the reason why I'm mentioning this is because I've had conversations online with people in various Facebook groups, and they keep saying, but there are studies, and they'll make these claims. For example, one claim was about, I think it was fish oil curing this person's cancer, and I offered $10,000 for them to let me look at the notes and speak to the doctors, because if this were true, I wanted to scream it on the rooftops. And they finally sent me a link, which I requested the scientific study. So they sent me a link to another website of someone just saying it worked. That's not science. So some studies suggest that chlorophyll might reduce body odor and improve digestion. I've never seen it, but certainly can't hurt to try. Although chlorophyll does have vitamin K in it, so if you're on any blood thinning medication like Coumadin or aspirin, you would not want to begin chlorophyll or any dark green leafy vegetables without a doctor's supervision and guidance. Chlorophyll may have antioxidant and anti-inflammatory properties. It actually does, but they're extremely weak. And again, I know this because throughout the years, I've measured oxidative stress and various inflammatory mediators in a person's chemistry against not just chlorophyll, but hundreds and hundreds of items, and it is not measurable at all. Could it help support red blood cell function? No. Chlorophyll may look a lot like hemoglobin structurally, but it's not. That's like saying that you see someone across the street that looks like your husband or looks like your wife, so that's great. No, they're different people. So what does the science say? There are a lack, unfortunately, of properly controlled trials, so it's just not been looked into in the way I wish it could be. What about absorption from supplements, meaning chlorophyll from supplement form as opposed to foods that contain chlorophyll? I would have to guess that supplements would be much more therapeutic, because with supplements you can get concentrated forms of chlorophyll, and in foods you just don't know how much you're getting. So sometimes nutrients are better than foods, but we always want to use both. No significant proof for claims on cancer prevention, detoxification, or weight loss. I wish there were, but there are not. Like I mentioned, I'll provide chlorophyll to a person in combination with hundreds of other plant-based products in the form of superfoods products. Then again, you're getting into a super additive nutritional situation there, which actually might help affect various cancer mechanisms. So if you're going to begin chlorophyll in any serious way, particularly if you're going to take more than 1 gram a day, even half of a gram, even 500 milligrams, you need to be careful. You need to measure your liver function test. Why? Because there are toxins like heavy metals potentially in chlorophyll, and they can cause a toxin-induced hepatitis, and the liver enzymes will go up. You need to know if this is happening. You want a comprehensive blood panel known as a CBC. And a chemistry. You want to measure heavy metals like mercury, lead, cadmium, and arsenic, although arsenic is technically not a metal, but that's in the panels. And you can find all of those things in chlorophyll. There was a well-known nutritionist several years back that was poisoned, lead poisoned, by consuming chlorophyll from a company. He sued that company and won a large lawsuit. And you might want to do gut health tests and microbiome tests of the intestinal tract if that's what you're trying to improve, to see beyond just you feeling better if chlorophyll is actually working. You know, feeling better, I've seen patients who have sat before me that feel fine, riddled with cancer. So how we feel is not reliable. What about antioxidant levels like glutathione, vitamin C, coenzyme Q10? You want to measure these things as well, because chlorophyll could potentially bind to nutrients just like they would bind minimally to some toxins, causing malabsorption of some nutrients, particularly minerals. So we want to consider that chlorophyll might help support detoxification as part of a comprehensive detoxification program, but certainly not alone. Will it enhance liver function? Well, if chlorophyll itself is not contaminated and it binds to toxins that are stressing the liver, then yes, it could do that. Could it promote gut health? Yes, chlorophyll is fiber, and the beneficial bugs in one's intestinal tract will start to or attempt to digest the chlorophyll, and they produce a more favorable intestinal environment. So yes, and in that same way, chlorophyll can help reduce inflammation. Does it boost energy and vitality? Well, if there are various toxins, let's say, that are removed from the use of chlorophyll, then possibly yes. But again, I would not rely on chlorophyll to remove heavy metals, for example, or any other toxins that are at a level of real toxicity. Could it boost energy and vitality? Not by itself. Now, you'll hear people, even online, that will make the claims that these things are happening, but 33 years I've had of looking at this, and I'm just not seeing it. And again, there are no studies out there that prove these points. And this last one is clearly wrong. Could chlorophyll help to balance pH and alkalinity in the body? I'll tell you why the answer is no. Some of you are thinking, well, it's a plant food, so it's going to add to alkalinity in the body. Yes, but you don't want alkalinity in certain places in the body. You want alkalinity in your mouth, so the amylase starch digesting enzyme works. You want acidity in your stomach so you can digest your foods and activate calcium and all those other things. You want a slightly acid environment in the small intestine. You want slightly acid environment in the urine, and your blood should be about neutral, a little bit left of neutral, and neutral's a 7 on the pH scale, and a blood pH is 7.35 to 7.45. So chlorophyll just doesn't have the power to influence correcting pH in a variety of places, and it certainly is not going to make you alkaline in your body, because that is a meaningless statement. And if you go to my website at drmichaelwald.com or any podcast platform and search for pH Lies, I have a 1-hour show which will educate you, if you like that education, so that you can really understand the physiology behind pH. This is an area where regular doctors, they're laughing their heads off with this one, because when they hear natural healthcare providers saying that they're going to enhance alkalinity in the body, they know what I just mentioned to you in less than a minute, and it's ridiculous. So what are some of the risks of chlorophyll? Well, chlorophyll may contain heavy metals, as I've said. They also may be bacterially contaminated. There may be fungal and mold contamination because it's a plant. There may be pesticides and chemical residues, even if they are said to be organic. And there may be synthetic additives. And the only way you can really know if any of these things apply to the chlorophyll product that you're using is you want to call up the manufacturer and ask for a third-party assay of the product, which will let you know what was checked in the product, and then you can see. If the company says we don't supply that to the public, obviously you do not use them, they're lying, and you go to another company, but you want to get that third-party assay. So, when I'm dealing with someone's health, it's important that I don't fall into the trap, and you should not either, of thinking that one nutritional product like chlorophyll, or just vitamin C, or just fish oil will manage your health issues. So we sometimes need to use various nutrients beyond the minimum recommended daily allowances, which are the basic minimum to prevent a deficiency disease. So we might have to use large amounts of things. We generally, if you want to get full effects of different nutrients, we want to combine the nutrients that a person needs in the right ratios, because that enhances the effect of each of those nutrients, and then they really could get the effects that you want potentially. And through questionnaires, physical examinations, nutritional visual exams, and the various testing that I've mentioned, that's how you put together a proper plan. So once again, please don't fall in the trap of thinking that any one supplement, including chlorophyll, is going to fix everything that you need. So thank you so much for joining me today. My name is Dr. Michael Wald. Let me know your thoughts on this presentation and if you'd like to hear any other topics, and I'll see you at the next podcast. Thank you.